November 20th, 2025. As the year draws to a close, Europe finds itself at a pivotal moment. Europe stands at a crossroads, as climate signals grow impossible to ignore. The signs are all around us, in the shifting skies and the changing landscapes. The question on everyone's mind: could 2026 become the hottest year ever recorded in Europe? This is not just a fleeting concern, but a pressing issue that demands our attention. This isn't idle speculation. Scientific evidence and recent patterns demand our attention. Experts are sounding the alarm, urging us to heed the warnings. We've seen wildfires, rivers running dry, and cities sweltering under relentless heat domes. These events are becoming more frequent and severe. These aren't distant disasters. They're happening here, now. The impact is felt in our communities, affecting our daily lives. To face a potentially hotter year, we must understand the forces at play and prepare to act. Communities are coming together, seeking solutions and taking proactive steps. Climate models, sophisticated simulations using real-world data, are converging on a troubling forecast: exceptional warmth for Europe next year. The models are clear and consistent, the data is clear, and the warning is urgent. We cannot afford to ignore the signs any longer. Our journey begins by examining the facts, understanding the mechanisms behind rising temperatures, and learning from recent impacts. Education and awareness are key. Only by piecing together this puzzle can we grasp the scale of the challenge ahead. Collaboration and innovation will be crucial. The question of 2026 is a call to action for Europe and the planet. It is a moment for unity and decisive action. The latest climate data from Europe's top research institutions is unambiguous. Decades of careful observation and advanced computer modeling have led to a clear and urgent message. The climate is changing faster than previously anticipated. Europe is warming at twice the global average, putting us on the front line of climate change. Cities across the continent are experiencing more frequent and intense heat waves, with temperatures soaring to new records almost every summer. Climate projections for 2026 show a convergence of factors, especially unusually warm oceans and record greenhouse gas concentrations. These models suggest that the coming years could see even more dramatic shifts in weather patterns. The North Atlantic, acting as a massive heat reservoir, is expected to push European temperatures even higher. Warm ocean currents are amplifying the effects of atmospheric warming, making Europe particularly vulnerable. Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane have reached new peaks, thickening the blanket that traps heat. This buildup is accelerating the pace of climate change, making it harder for natural systems to adapt. Despite global efforts, emissions continue to rise, making record-breaking heat increasingly likely. The challenge of reducing emissions remains immense, as energy demand and industrial activity persist. Scientists aren't guessing. They're reading a clear signal from the data. The upward trends are unmistakable, and the evidence is stronger than ever before. The combination of long-term warming, hot oceans, and rising emissions points to a year of exceptional, potentially dangerous warmth. This could mean more health risks, agricultural losses, and stress on water resources. Europe's people and ecosystems are at risk. Vulnerable groups, such as the elderly and children, face greater threats, while wildlife and natural habitats struggle to cope with rapid changes. The models leave little room for doubt. 2026 could be a turning point. The choices we make now will shape the future of Europe's climate for generations to come. Why is Europe warming so rapidly? The answer is complex, but it's one of the most urgent questions facing the continent today. The story begins with greenhouse gases released by human activity, primarily from burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. These activities have loaded the atmosphere with carbon dioxide and other heat-trapping gases, creating a thickening blanket that holds warmth close to the Earth's surface for centuries. But there's more. The Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, a crucial ocean current system, is slowing down, which means heat waves can linger longer and become more intense across Europe. Feedback loops, such as the rapid melting of Arctic sea ice, further amplify warming. As bright ice disappears, it exposes dark ocean water that absorbs even more heat, accelerating the process. These changes disrupt established weather patterns, making extreme events, like severe storms, floods, and heat waves, far more common and unpredictable. Natural cycles, including El Niño, can add fuel to the fire, temporarily spiking global temperatures and intensifying the effects of human-driven warming. The combination of relentless human-caused warming and natural climate variability has set the stage for the record-breaking heat Europe is now experiencing. Europe's recent climate extremes are no accident. They're the direct result of these powerful, interconnected forces working together. Understanding these trends is crucial, not just for scientists, but for everyone, so we can better prepare for what's coming next and adapt to a rapidly changing world. Europe's recent summers have been a wake-up call. In 2022, temperature records shattered, over 40 degrees in the UK for the first time, wildfires raging across France, Spain, and Portugal. Major rivers like the Rhine and Danube dwindled, disrupting commerce and revealing ancient hunger stones, warning of hardship. Agriculture suffered as crops withered, harvests failed, and food prices soared. These weren't isolated incidents, they were part of a continent-wide crisis. The impacts were felt in every sector, from supply chains to food security. These events are data points in a clear, worrying trend. Extreme weather is becoming Europe's new normal. The cost is measured in lost livelihoods, damaged ecosystems, and rising anxiety. The warnings from recent years must not be ignored. A hotter Europe affects every aspect of life. Public health is at risk. Heat waves strain hospitals and endanger the most vulnerable. Infrastructure built for milder climates buckles under extreme heat. Roads melt, railways warp, and power grids falter. Energy demand spikes as millions seek relief, increasing the risk of blackouts. Nature suffers too. Forests face more fires and pests, while marine habitats decline as waters warm. Agriculture and tourism, pillars of Europe's economy, are threatened by unpredictable weather and shifting seasons. Food prices rise, and traditional holiday destinations may become too hot for comfort. The economic burden of repairing climate damage grows heavier each year. Climate change is not just an environmental issue, it's a public health, infrastructure, and economic crisis. Every European is affected. Rising temperatures reshape daily life in subtle and dramatic ways. Outdoor workers face health risks and lost productivity. Even office commutes become exhausting in the heat. Cultural traditions, festivals, markets, evening strolls, are disrupted or cancelled. Energy bills climb as air conditioning becomes essential, while food prices rise due to crop failures. Low-income households feel the strain most. The psychological toll, eco-anxiety and uncertainty about the future, is growing, especially among the young. The human cost of a warming Europe is real and immediate. The scale of the crisis can feel overwhelming, but individual actions matter. Choosing public transport, cycling, or walking reduces emissions. Cutting energy use at home, turning off lights, improving insulation, using renewables, makes a difference. Shifting to more plant-based meals and supporting local food producers lowers your climate impact. Advocacy is powerful. Talk about climate action, support sustainable businesses, and demand bold policies from leaders. Every action, multiplied across millions, creates momentum for change. We all have a role to play in building a sustainable future. Change starts with us. Individual efforts are vital, but systemic change is essential. Governments must set ambitious targets, phase out fossil fuels, and invest in renewable energy. Infrastructure must be upgraded to withstand new climate realities. Flood defenses, green spaces, resilient water systems, public awareness campaigns, and emergency preparedness are critical. Industry must innovate, adopting low-carbon technologies, embracing circular economy principles, and transforming transport. International cooperation is non-negotiable. Climate change knows no borders. Europe must lead by example, sharing knowledge and supporting vulnerable nations. Only unified action can secure a safe, sustainable future. The path forward demands partnership at every level. The prospect of 2026 as Europe's hottest year is a stark warning. The science is clear, the risks are real, and the consequences are severe. This is not a distant problem, it's happening now. We have the knowledge and tools to act, but determination is needed. We must both mitigate, by slashing emissions, and adapt, by building resilience into our societies. The choices we make today will shape Europe's future. This is a test of our resolve and our responsibility to future generations. Nature and humanity both have the capacity to recover, if we act now. The time for action is not tomorrow. It is now.